Hey, good afternoon. Once again, never have any time, so using my lunch break at work to talk a little bit about what happened after, like, I guess letting go. Just kind of saying, like, what if I don't blame you for everything anymore? And, hi, puppy. There's some person's dog here. Hi. Hi. All right, see ya. And a really weird thing happened. I've been doing some therapy, finally affording a little bit of therapy, and I guess two, maybe three things happened since then that are kind of interesting. I wonder if anybody does this too, but I noticed one, that once you get past your anger and frustration, once you let it go, which, mind you, some of these things that people have said and done that I won't let go of are they said something 6 years ago, and I'm still mad. They become funny. I couldn't stop myself from laughing at myself, at the whole situation. And I think that's just kind of how it is. Like, let's say you had a really horrible vacation and, you were like, and I missed my flight and they lost my luggage, and you laugh about it afterward about how ridiculous it is, but in the moment you're super frustrated. So if you let it go, you have an opportunity for a really funny joke, or like an opportunity to laugh at yourself. The other thing that I noticed is inadvertently, that a lot of what I find kind of repulsive or makes me angry in other people are things that I also have and have a problem with. So I might hate someone for being like really dogmatic about certain things, but then I also can be really dogmatic. And so I'm like, they're just so strict, they see things a certain way, and then realize, oh. And even just by me being like that, I'm being pretty dogmatic myself. So anyway, that was another thing, is that maybe some of what I hate in other people, not always, I'm not similar to some people in the news that are in huge positions of power that do awful things, but maybe if I had a whole bunch of power and money, I'd be a very different, not very moral person, and I just don't have that opportunity. I hope not, but I'm just saying, you never know yourself. I've never been given the trial of millions of dollars, so if anybody wants to give me that, I'm totally cool with trying not. Yeah, I think that maybe I'm a little more similar to people that I'm angry at or have a hard time forgiving, which means I just don't totally see, love, and forgive myself. And then the last thing that came with it, which has been quite a surprise, is I was deeply moved to say sorry. Which is weird, because I definitely started out this whole thing thinking, I was wronged and I'm the victim and all that stuff. But then I thought a lot about how I've also been the perpetrator, and what I can do to heal that. And I'm not talking hey, so sorry, or hey, I'm sorry, and also it wasn't totally my fault, because I was going through a hard time and I've had bad things happen, but to sincerely say, part of the reason that this situation happened in which I was, because I saw the whole world as victims and perpetrators and stuff, and I think I just wanted to be on top for once or be dominant, and so I treated people badly. Part of the reason that dynamic worked is because they also believed that they should be treated that way by someone for whatever reason. And so I realized, like, what would be more helpful, definitely not me excusing my behavior or anything, but what would be most helpful if I were to reach out to them is to try to help mitigate the thinking that got them into that position in the first place. To say, you don't deserve to be treated that way. I hope despite how you've been treated, you are able, or you are having a wonderful life. You deserve love, you deserve respect, you don't deserve to be treated poorly. Because I think I did treat some people really poorly. I could have been better. And I missed out on an opportunity to have like a really good friend had I not been such a jerk. So anyway, so it's actually led me to say sorry, which I thought that, like, sorry, forgiveness, repentance, whatever those things are, whatever you would call them, were kind of religious things, but I think they can often be like just human things. And so reaching out, a lot of people haven't responded at all, and that's okay. I told them in my short brief message, like, hey, you don't have to reply, but just know that I hope despite how you've been treated, not just by me, but I suspect other people, because why would you believe that you should be treated poorly with coldness or criticized or something unless you felt you deserved it? That's how they kind of took things, in my perspective. Like, something must have happened to make you think that. And so I just kind of told them, like, I hope that despite how you've been treated, you know that you deserve all the happiness in the world. And so I sent that, and I've been talking to like 2 or 3 people who, I guess still want to maintain some form of a relationship, or maybe they believe that they have to forgive because they're still religious or something. I don't know. But I can't control how they feel or what they do or what they believe, so I'm just going to let them do what they think is best for them. And some of them left me on red. Some of them didn't answer. And that didn't make me mad or anything. I think it makes sense. I think there was enough pain there that they just deserve to be happy and move forward. And I hope they do. And so anyway, that's my lessons with anger and like forgiveness, even though I never thought I would like use those words again. And yeah, I can hold a grudge for a long time, I've realized. Like, I literally laughed when I realized, like, something that I was mad about someone saying, which, by the way, was really, really painful and really awful, was 6 years ago. And I don't know, I'm a grown-ass adult, so at some point I think I just need to let it go. And it's obvious that their words, can't stop me. They don't define me, and I'm doing just fine, so why did I let it bug me so much? I don't know. And whether or not they're the same person now doesn't really matter. I get to choose. So there's been a lot of belly laughs. I wish I would have done this sooner, honestly. So if I could give advice to people younger than me or my younger self, I would say let it go faster than I did. And probably also book the trip. I think I would say that, because there's a lot of discovering that I regret not doing. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. I did talk about myself, and I feel embarrassed about it every time I come on here, but I don't feel comfortable really commenting on anything else. I've thought about making like grand, sweeping statements and judgments, or commenting on the state of other things in the world, and I'm just not in a place where I think I know everything enough to make other comments. I can only say for myself that as much as I love hanging on to anger, and I love revenge, and I love like holding grudges and stuff, I might love letting it go more. And you might too. You might see some people as human that you were willing to see as people that it could be disregarded, just nobodies. I thought, oh, men are this or that, women are this and that, and now they're just people. And I've had a really great conversation with a couple of them that I feel like they just saw me as Kira. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for listening to my little life. And just know that like some of the hardest moments of your life could possibly be like one of the funniest jokes you can tell.